Hello everyone and welcome to class. In this Vinyasa yoga practice, we will be building quite a bit of heat in a relatively short amount of time. So make sure you have 2 blocks, something to act as 2 blocks, and when you're ready, we'll start down on our backs.
So once you're down there, stretch the legs long and reach the arms far up overhead. And then begin to engage the core by pressing the low back down into the mat, belly button to spine. Point the toes and reach through the fingertips. Breathing here as if you're yawning your entire body awake. And then relax everything. Take the arms out to a T so they're in line with the shoulders and press the palms down into the mat. And then lift the legs up, keeping them bent, knees stacked on top of the hips. Squeezing the legs together, begin to rock the legs side to side, nice and slow. So they're moving as one unit, activating the core here, getting a little bit of a spinal twist as well. Keep the shoulders, the neck, and the head on the mat. The hips might lift a little bit as you rock side to side. Try to go a little bit lower each time. Take one more on each side.
What happens when life breaks down?
Come back to center. And then lower your arms so they're halfway between your shoulders and your hips. And then stretch the right leg, pointing the toes up to the sky. Keep squeezing the legs together in the center here. Keeping the left knee where it is, begin to open the right leg up to the side in a half straddle split, and then squeeze it back up towards the sky. So we're opening and closing just the right leg, keeping the left leg exactly where it is. Engaging the adductor muscles here and starting to open up the inner thighs. Moving slowly and with lots of control here over the movement. Next time you come through center, switch the legs and repeat to the left. So only opening that leg as far as you can without letting everything else start to move with it. And when you bring it back through center, really think about squeezing the legs together. This is also great to get the really deep lower abdominal muscles fired up. And now bend both knees and squeeze them in towards the chest. Lift the head off the mat, bringing the forehead as close as you can to the knees. Lift the arms and reach them long next to the legs, so the fingertips are almost passing the feet here, like a crow pose on your back. One more breath, try to lift the shoulders up even more off the mat. And then bring the hands to the backs of the thighs and rock and roll yourself up to sit.
What happens when life breaks down?
Once you're there, cross the legs, bring yourself over to tabletop. Legs are hips width apart, knees under the hips, wrists under shoulders. Pressing through both hands here, extend the left leg long behind you, point the toes. And then lift the leg up to hip height. Inhale here as you really reach through those pointed toes. And then exhale, curl the spine up to the sky, bring the knee in towards the forehead, tucking the chin. Inhale as you open back up, lots of length. And exhale, curl everything in towards each other. 2 more times. And now hold the leg extended back. Lower down onto your right forearm, boxing out the arms, pressing through the left hand and the right forearm equally. And then begin to open up that left hip, bending the leg and extending the leg out to the side, pointing the toes. Bend the leg back in and then tuck the knee behind the right knee, squeezing the inner thighs together. Gaze over the right shoulder. And then again, open up the hip, kick the leg out to the left. And then tuck the leg behind the right, squeezing the thighs. Bring both legs down to center, bring yourself back up to both hands, and make your way over to the other side. Extending the right leg long behind you, pointing the toes, and then lifting that leg up to hip height. First, inhale, really reach through the toes. Exhale, curl forehead to knee. Inhale as you open, finding even more length. Exhale, scoop the belly, forehead to knee. One more. And then hold the leg behind you. Slowly lower yourself down onto your left forearm now. Opening up through the right hip and then kicking the right leg out towards the right side. Bending the leg back in, tucking it behind the left, squeezing the thighs together. Opening up the hip once more, kick the leg, really point those toes out to the right, and then scoop it back behind the left. Bring both legs together now, up onto your hands. Tuck the toes and then begin to walk the hands back so you can come to sit on your heels in this amazing foot stretch. And to distract ourselves from what we're feeling there, bring your hands out in front of you, open the fingers wide, and then begin to just squeeze them into fists and opening them. So you open, close as fast as you can. Warming up the wrists. Keep going, keep breathing. And then shake out those wrists, bring the hands out in front of you. Press down into the hands as you lift the hips up and back to your first downward facing dog. Take a moment here to pedal out your feet, maybe rock the hips side to side, whatever you need to do to work out any tension. And then when you're ready, come to stillness, pressing through the hands and the feet equally here. Moving into spinal rolls, begin to lift the heels up, scoop the belly, and roll through the spine all the way into plank. From plank, begin to bend the knees as you send the hips far up and all the way back, belly button to the upper thighs, back into downward facing dog again. So rolling through the spine with your breath, making this feel really good for yourself. It's like a spinal massage, as well as a strengthener for the whole body. Come back to stillness in your down dog. Look up to your hands and begin to walk your feet up to meet the hands. And once you're at the top of your mat, bring the feet together, bend the knees, and sit the hips low. Scoop the belly as you lift the upper body, coming into chair. Think about tucking the pelvis under slightly. Transition here. Press into the right foot as you begin to peel the left foot up off the mat. And then begin to stand tall at the same time. Keep the left leg bent, bringing that left knee up in towards the chest. Arms reaching far up overhead. And then begin to tilt the upper body forward as you bend into the right leg, taking the left leg long behind you. Moving slowly into high lunge, lower the left toes down towards the mat. And then once you're there, lift the upper body, take the gaze up, open the arms up into cactus, puffing the chest up towards the sky, opening up through the throat. Come back to center, reach the arms up overhead, and then bring the hands down to the mat, frame the front foot. Step the foot back to plank, inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down to the mat. Inhale, point the toes, pull yourself forward and up to cobra. And exhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest and then step the right foot forward between the hands. And now walk the hands forward slightly and stay up on the fingertips. Push through the right foot as you lift the left leg up behind you, straightening the right leg, coming into stork. hips are square here, toes are pointed back behind you. And of course, you can take some blocks under your hands if you need a little bit more height. Same action as the beginning. Inhale the leg long. Exhale, curl the spine as you draw the forehead in towards the knee. Inhale as you extend the leg long behind you. Exhale, curl forehead to knee. Hold here. And then lower the left foot down next to the right, keeping the left leg bent. Left fingertips under the face. Peel the right arm up and open, right fingertips to the sky. Breathe into the stretch on the outside of the straight right leg. And then lower the fingertips down, bend both legs, squeeze them together as you sit the hips low and come back up to chair, starting again on the other side. Press into the left foot as you peel the right foot up off the mat. Come to stand tall and bring the right knee as close as you can up and in towards the chest. Tip the upper body forward, take the right leg back behind you, bending through the left leg. Reach the right leg long as you slowly lower those toes down to the mat. And once they reach there, lift the upper body all the way up, open up through the chest as you cactus the arms, look up to the sky. Breathing into this opening. Come back to center, arms up, and then lower them down, framing the front foot and stepping that foot back to a plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest, and then step the foot between the hands. Right away, walk the fingertips slightly forward, push through the left foot, and lift yourself up to stork. Inhale here. Exhale, curl forehead to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, forehead to knee, hold here. And then step the right foot down to meet the left. Keep the right leg bent as you peel the left fingertips up to the sky, opening up through the chest. Keep breathing. Lower the left fingertips down. Bend through both knees now. Squeeze the legs together as you lift yourself back up to chair. Same thing as before. Plant into the right foot as you peel the left knee up towards the chest. Maybe straighten the leg this time for a little standing balance and core action. And then begin to tip the upper body forward as you take the left leg long behind you. Slow, controlled transition to high lunge. Brief stop in high lunge, and then right away open up into warrior two. Outside edge of the back foot parallel to the back of the mat, front toes facing forward, knee stacked on top of the ankle. Flip the front palm, exalt your warrior. Stretching both legs, let the left fingertips fall down the left leg. Reach the right fingertips far up overhead. Transition back to warrior two. Plant the right forearm down on top of the right thigh. Reach the left arm up and overhead, extended side angle. Push through the forearms so you can find more length in the side body and open the chest up even more. Come back to warrior two. Stretch both legs. Keeping them exactly where they are, begin to reach the right fingertips far, far, far in front of you until you can't anymore. Flip the palm up to the sky and then sweep the left arm up overhead into an active Trikonasana, triangle pose. Keep the right side body long as you think about scooping the right shoulder under you slightly so the upper body is parallel to the side of the mat. Come back up to stand. Rotate the right toes so all 10 toes are facing the left side of the mat. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale as you stand a little bit taller. Exhale as you begin to hinge at the hips, coming into a wide leg forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Option to stay in a halfway lift here on your fingertips, or begin to walk the hands back between the feet, lowering the head down towards the mat. Keep thinking about drawing the feet in towards each other, activating those adductor and inner thigh muscles. It's a super active stretch here. Walk the hands forward to a halfway lift, and then walk the hands to the top of the mat, framing the front foot. Step the foot back to a plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then right away, inhale, lift the right leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, scoop the knee to the chest, and then step that foot between the hands. Walk the hands forward, once again pressing up into stork. And then bring the left foot down to meet the right, legs together. Bend the knees, sit the hips low, come up to chair. Pressing into the left foot, begin to peel the right knee up towards the chest, maybe stretching the right leg long in front of you. And then rebend the leg. Begin to bend into the left leg as you tilt the upper body forward. Reach the right leg long behind you. Slowly make your way into a high lunge. And then right away, open up, warrior two. Check the position of your feet, set your foundation, and reach the arms in one long line. And then flip the left palm up to the sky, begin to stretch through both legs, exalt your warrior. Right fingertips fall down the leg as the left arm sweeps up overhead. Transition back, warrior two. Left forearm down to the top of the thigh, right arm up overhead, extended side angle. Keep breathing. Make your way through warrior two, stretch the legs, and transition into that active triangle. Reach the left fingertips far out in front of you, flip the palm and sweep the right arm up overhead. Lengthen the side body, think about that scooping action as you square the chest off to the right side of the mat. Come back up to stand. Turn the left toes to face the right side and bring the hands to the hips. Inhale as you stand tall. Exhale, begin to hinge at the hips, Prasarita Padottanasana. You can take the same version as you did on the first side, or bring the left hand underneath the face and peel open the chest as the right fingertips go towards the sky. You can take a bind here by bringing the right hand back behind you, reaching for the left hip. Fingertips back up to the sky, bring them back down to the mat and replace the left hand with the right, peeling open to the left now. Fingertips to the sky, bring the hands down, and then walk your hands over to the top of the mat, frame the foot, step the left foot back, inhale to plank, exhale chaturanga, inhale upward facing dog, exhale downward facing dog. Right away, inhale the left leg back behind you, exhale step the foot forward between the hands. Fingertips forward, press into the left foot, right leg back to stork. Right foot meets the left, and then right away begin to heel toe the feet out so they're about as wide as the mat and the toes are facing out on an angle. Bend the knees, sit the hips low, coming into Malasana squat. In Malasana, take the elbows into the insides of the knees and bring the hands to prayer. Press through the hands and keep the elbows wide, encouraging those knees out to track over the toes. Spine is long. Stay here, or option to play with crow. Bring the hands down to the mat, spread the fingers. Lift the hips up high enough so that you can step the feet together, but keep the knees wide. Stay up high on the toes, heels lifted as you lower the glutes down to the heels. Walk the hands back in towards you. Bend the elbows so that you can get those knees as high up as you can onto the tops of the arms. And then as you squeeze the elbows in towards the body, scoop the belly up, begin to lean forward, gaze forward, not down. And then one at a time or two at a time, play with lifting your feet up. If not today, with practice. You can take lots of little toe taps. Keep breathing, keep scooping the belly up, keep squeezing the elbows in, keep the gaze forward. If you're in crow, lower the feet down. And wherever you are, walk the hands forward so you can begin to lower the knees down to the mat, keeping them wide. Bring the feet back together. Untuck the toes and sit the hips back onto your feet, coming into a wide leg hero's pose. So you can stay here if this is enough of a stretch for you for those quads and hip flexors, or begin to lower yourself down onto your forearms, but keep the gaze forward. Or if you want to take it deeper still, you can lie yourself all the way down onto your back, taking the arms up overhead. Wherever you are, enjoy the stretch, breathing into the entire front body. If you're on your back, prop yourself back up onto your elbows. If you're on your elbows, bring yourself back up to sit. Take the hands out in front of you so you can bring the knees together, sit yourself onto one hip and swing the legs out in front of you. Give them a shake. Bend the left leg and plant the sole of that foot to the inside of the right upper thigh. Square your upper body off to the right leg, flex the right foot, and then slowly begin to fold over the right leg. Keep the spine long. As you fold forward over the leg, think belly to upper thigh, chest to knee, and forehead to shin. So you're keeping a lot of length in this compression action through the belly and the upper thigh of that right leg. Or stay up on your hands. Wherever you are today, keep breathing. Slowly make your way out of that stretch. And once you're sitting back up, point the right toes down towards the mat. Take the left hand back behind you underneath the shoulder. And then begin to roll over up onto the left shin, lifting the hips and sweeping the right arm up overhead like a modified wild thing. Breathing and enjoying this expansive stretch. And then reversing that, slowly lowering the hips down. Once they get there, stay facing the left side of the mat. Bend the right leg and step the right foot over the left knee, preparing for a seated spinal twist. So both glutes are on the mat here, left heel tucked into the right hip. Right arm back behind you for support. Reach the left arm up overhead, and then wrap it around the right leg, pulling the right knee in towards the chest. Coming into the spinal twist and finding a bit of a stretch along the piriformis muscle of the right leg throughout the glute. Inhale, even more length in the spine, and exhale, a little more twist. Unwind yourself, bringing the left hand down beside you. Fun little transition here. Walk the left toes out slightly and walk the right foot forward, but keep it on top of the left knee. Flex the right foot as you begin to rock the hips, bringing the bottom of the left foot to the mat, opening up into the seated figure 4 stretch. Making any adjustments to make this a sustainable stretch for you. You can walk that left foot forward slightly or walk the hands back, take some intensity out, or you can bring them closer towards you. Either way, keep the right foot flexed and that right knee, encourage it out. Begin to inch that left foot forward until you can slide it on the mat, stretching the leg and then preparing everything to the other side. So you can just place the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh, square off your upper body to the left leg, flex the left foot, and begin to walk yourself forward any amount into a forward fold with a long spine and a sustainable stretch for you. Slowly make your way out of that stretch, coming to sit. Point the left toes down to the mat, right hand behind you under the right shoulder. Then begin to lift yourself up onto that right shin, lifting the hips, sweeping the left arm up overhead. Breathing into this beautiful, expansive stretch. Reverse out of that, hips come down, and then step the left foot over the right knee, preparing for your seated spinal twist. Left arm back behind you for support. Reach the right arm up towards the sky before wrapping it around the left leg, hugging the left knee in towards the chest. Unwind yourself out of that. Bring the right hand beside you, walk the right toes out, walk the left foot forward, keep it stacked on top of the right knee, and rock the hips back, bottom of the right foot to the mat, seated figure 4 stretch. Making any adjustments you need. Keep the left foot flexed and keep encouraging that left knee out. Begin to inch that right foot forward until you can slide the right leg along on the mat. Bringing the left leg long beside it, give your legs a shake. We're going to finish this class with a yin heart opener. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. Take one block parallel to the back of the mat on its second highest height, and then bring the other block perpendicular to that one, so it's like a T shape. And then you're slowly going to lower yourself onto the blocks. The one closest to you, the base of that block, is going to be about at the bottom of your scapula, so it's nowhere near your lower back. And then once you're down, you can reach back and fix up that second block so that it's supporting the back of your head. Let the legs go long and take the arms out beside you, like a Shavasana. Close your eyes and breathe naturally, letting the chest open as it will, letting the heart open as it will. Feel free to stay here for the next few minutes, and when that feels good and cooked, you can remove the blocks and make your way into a more traditional Shavasana. Thank you for joining me for this quick and fiery practice, and I will see you next time. Enjoy your rest.